Hey guys, welcome to Studio Anderson. And today's studio is my car. And so I'm just driving around and I have nothing to do. I was like, let me make a video. Um, I'm wearing this big jacket because it's kind of cold here right now. And hopefully it'll snow soon. I'm so excited. Um, so, so I did my stream yesterday. It's going to be on Sundays at like 9-ish. And I really appreciate everybody who watched and who talked with me. I appreciate my new subscribers. Y'all are the best. And and I just wanted to make a video, kind of a follow up from my last video. I talked about 5 ways to trigger a liberal. Now I figure conservatives who watch it are either like, yep, that's basically it, or they think it's funny. Um, if you're in like the conservative community online, you probably had people ban you and threaten you and report you for basically having any kind of conservative opinion. That's kind of what I was responding to. So when I say triggered, what I mean is people who. What I mean by triggered is when someone gets angry in an illogical way, makes accusations, gets loud. I'm not talking about someone like you say something offensive, trolling them, and they take it personally. I'm talking about literally just flying off the handle just because you don't agree with them. It's something that happens a lot. So I have fun with it, and it's like I said in my other video, like sometimes it's fun to just stir the shit. If someone gets mad that easily, like you don't even have to try. You can just be like, oh yeah, Trump 2020, and they get like super mad, they call you a fascist or whatever. So that's what I was referring to, and I made it clear in that video that I was not talking about all Democrats or whatever, but just putting that out there again. Um, you know, but we do have, what I want to talk about is like why it's okay to trigger people. So if someone is like hell bent on getting mad because you disagree with them, or they are in the mindset where it's like a religion, they're like evangelicals. Nothing against evangelicals, but some people of any religion or political persuasion will get in the mindset where they have to force people to agree with them, and if they don't, they get like emotional and angry and all this stuff. And it's like it's not logical. And the thing is, you don't see conservatives do that. You don't see conservatives out there like, you have to like Trump, you have to think this, you have to be, against government regulation and be for lower taxes. Like most of the time, like I have known people that are a little too um brainwashed by conservative sources. So like when Hillary and Trump were running, they'd be like, "Oh, the emails," and it kind of annoyed me because I was like, "Well, there's a million things." Once I started actually looking into it, there's a lot of different things you can really talk about that makes Hillary not a good person and not a good candidate. So just going about the emails that most of us at the time didn't really know the details of, most people now probably don't know the details of, was not really a good argument. So I'll call anybody out, but right now it's mostly, and I'm a conservative, but right now it's mostly the leftists. Like, you have to say Black Lives Matter. Like, I've seen, like, so many people will be like, say it, say their name, say Black Lives Matter. I'm like, I'm not gonna be forced to, like, say something and be a robot that just utters slogans. It's like everybody, like, they get triggered if you don't utter slogans and just say that you agree with stuff because they attack your character. They say, well, if you don't say this and agree with this and agree with that and ignore the riots and ignore the violence and the murders, then you are racist. And it's not true, which is a stupid argument anyway. But most of us white people are so scared to be called racist that we will will go along with it, and I truly feel that's a lot of so-called Democrats. Like, I don't even know what the Democrat Party stands for. Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? Like, what's their platform? What's their values? What are the things that they want to do? Because all they do is say that the Republicans are evil and racist and hate poor people, and say that they are holy and holier than thou and not racist and care about the poor people. But do they really? I mean, you have all these corporations on the side of the Democratic Party. They've been saying for years that the Republicans are like corporate hacks. Some of them are, but Right now, it's like the whole damn Democratic Party. Like Bernie was the only one, and I will I'll say it. Like Bernie was the only one that was potentially not a corporate hack, but I feel like the party kind of beat him into submission, and now he's just going along with trying to get Joe Biden elected, which I'm pretty sure he knows is a stupid idea. You can tell by the way he talks about. He tries to advocate for Joe Biden, but is he really doing a good job? Not really. And but but yeah, so they want you to they want you to say these things, and they get triggered if you don't, and then you're a bad guy or whatever. Like, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm talking about, triggered guys. So if anybody's like, well, I'm a Democrat and I don't get triggered, I have real conversations. If you do, then good for you. But at least the people that are actually having the conversations are not having the conversations. And that sounds kind of weird, but the ones that are actually talking with people about social issues and politics are usually not having conversations. They're getting mad and angry and trying to force you to agree with them, and then saying, if you don't agree with me, you're evil. And so you end up trying to agree with them, or if you're me, you don't, and then everybody ends up hating you, which I don't really care anymore. Like, at this point, I don't want someone to like me because they think that I am some whatever. They think that I support Black Lives Matter, which I don't, or they think that I am this, or they think that I'm representative of the gay community. If that's why you like me, then hello, goodbye, because I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done having everybody in my life assume my values and my opinions, and then sit here and say, oh, well, if you don't stick to those values and opinions that I put on you, then you're a bad guy and I don't like you anymore. Okay, well, then don't like me. I don't care. You probably didn't like me in the first place. Like, obviously, if your only thing you can say good about me is that I supposedly agree with you on certain issues, I mean, that's so stupid. Like, I don't care if somebody agrees with me that Trump is a good president. The problem I have is that people go fly off the handle about it. They get super angry and insult you if you don't think if you don't think that Hitler went and dyed his hair blonde, gained some weight and shaved and started calling himself Trump. If you don't think that ridiculous conspiracy theory that Trump is somehow Hitler, then you are a bad guy. And that's what I have a problem with. And another thing, what is saying these slogans gonna do? Like, say their names, I can't breathe, hands up, don't shoot. What is that gonna do? It doesn't do anything. It's like Uber had this ad. It's like, if you don't stand against racism, then get off our app. Black people deserve the right to go anywhere they please on an Uber ride. Who in the God's great universe ever claimed that black people shouldn't, or even attempted to keep a black person from getting in an Uber? Do they have a wallet? Do they got money? Yeah. So nobody cares. If you're the driver, you're making money. If you're the customer, you're trying to go somewhere, black or white. And who is trying to keep black people from getting Uber rides? Like, they're literally projecting this race theory, this victim mentality on everything. And I talk about this a lot, but I think it was like Pierce Morgan on Good Morning Britain, and they were talking about non-binary. And he comes for the non-binary stuff because it doesn't make any damn sense. But he, had a trans person there, and he's like, oh, the gay people and the trans people, I understand them because they're marginalized and abused and manipulated and insulted every day of their life, and they just bear through it. I'm like, where? Where have I been marginalized? And what they want to say is victimized. I mean, they say marginalized and what's these other terms? They use a lot of fancy terms to say that you're a victim. Marginalized and pushed to the side, discriminated against. Where? Where? Like, even when I was a hell of a lot more feminine acting than I am now, and I was a lot younger and a lot more inexperienced, anytime I didn't get a job was because I didn't know how to do a damn interview. And every time anybody else has told me about them, oh, well, I'm being discriminated against, I've been marginalized, blah, blah, blah. First of all, if you call yourself marginalized, you got problems. I'm just saying that. But where? Because when they say that, and you say, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, honey. What happened? And they're like, well, I was somewhere, and this person was rude to me. Or I applied for a job, and the manager was really short with me, and it was because I'm gay, or whatever. How do you know? Like, that's why some people are against wasting our time with anti-discrimination policies, because it doesn't do anything. Like, nobody's gonna say, hello, I hate gay people. I refuse to give you this job because you seem a little bit too flamboyant. And in this country, in 2020, United States of America, the idea that we have to fight for gay rights or black rights or women's rights is a big fat joke. The only women's rights handle they have is abortion, and whether you want to consider that actual women's rights is definitely a matter of opinion. And gay rights, what are you fighting for? We can get married. I did. We can get jobs. Like, I don't even care if someone says that's so gay. I've said it. It used to hurt my feelings when I was told it should hurt my feelings, and then I realized it doesn't actually matter. And nobody even says it anymore. Like, people are literally, like, falling all over themselves trying to explain in great detail how much they love gay people just for their gayness and not as individuals. How is that an improvement from people joking around making gay jokes? Like, I can understand if you want to make the argument, well, racist and gay jokes are bad. But, like, I probably heard more gay people tell gay jokes. No, that's not true. I used to live in the country. Everybody told gay jokes. But nobody actually took it personally. They'd be like, oh, no offense, bro, no offense. They'd be like, oh, you know the story about the gay guy in the bar? And they'd be telling a gay joke, and they'd be like, oh, no offense, though, I don't have any problem with you. And these are like, like people that, didn't know me, didn't have to tell me they didn't want to hurt my feelings. Like, nobody cares. Like, probably heard more racist jokes from black people or non-white people. I probably heard more Jewish jokes from Jews. Like, it's like such a big topic. It's hard to stay on one thing because you get into one detail and you just realize the whole thing is just a pile of propaganda. Like, it's propaganda. Like, slogans don't do anything. If you're being told to say a slogan that doesn't mean anything, like stand against racism, stand where and do what? How is standing there with a sign or telling people, I am an ally, I stand against racism, how does that do anything? How does that prevent racism? It doesn't. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if you somehow visually witness someone denying a job to a non-white person, you'd be like, hey man, that's not cool. Why are you saying he can't have the job because he's black? But like I said, that's not going to happen because it's not a thing. And if it is a thing, they're not going to say it's because of that. So when you assume that someone's discriminating against you, and you have no proof, you're just assuming because you want to be the victim. And even if you had some strong gut feeling, I think this person is racist, I think he's homophobic, he doesn't want to give me the job, it's not because I have no experience, it's because he's a bigot, then apply for another job. In fact, when you apply for a job, apply for like 100 jobs at a time. That's what I do. You're going to get calls like you can't get no more. You're gonna get calls all day. Fun's gonna be waiting until the cows come home. You're gonna have to be denying jobs because everybody's gonna want to hire you because you don't apply for 50 to 100 jobs. That's how it works. You don't just apply for one job. They don't hire you. You say it's because of bigotry, and then you go home and cry, or you don't go home because you can't pay your rent because you don't have a place to live because you only applied for one job. So now you're a homeless bag lady on the street, and you're telling random people, give me a quarter because I'm a homeless bag lady on the street because of discrimination and bigotry in America in 2020. And a whole bunch of people will believe you, and they'll put change in your cup because they think that we're all victims. Well, we're not. It's all BS. Try not to cuss too much, y'all, because I don't think cussing is bad per se, but I want to keep it a little bit family friendly. So if young people want to up on this channel, I don't want to, alarm their parents with my foul mouth, because I tend to cuss like a swear like a sailor, cuss like a sailor, when I manage to speak clearly. Because sometimes, you just get on a rant, this stuff be making you annoyed, And the thing is, I could get triggered, but I don't even get triggered. Like, I could be like, oh, this shit is so stupid, and to get mad when people come out with that BLM bullshit. But no, I just, I listen to what they have to say. I try to have not an argument, but, a fair conversation. And the second they realize I'm not just totally, ready to throw on a Black Lives Matter sign and march around the streets and tear shit up, then they just fly off the handle. They get mad. They're like, you don't agree with me? Like, whoa, this is crazy. I don't even understand. But, again, like I said yesterday, if anybody of you watching this right now is watching that, and if you weren't, go back and watch my live stream. post live, I would appreciate it. It was pretty fun. But like I said yesterday, it's thankfully a very loud, very annoying minority of people that actually get that easily triggered. I just have bad luck and keep running into them, unfortunately. But, yeah, silent majority, guys. We are real. That's all for today. Bye.